Good morning, good life. Welcome back to Amy TV, where we come together to help you go after the life that you want. And where we also listen to the crazy things you think about me. Or at least that's what we're doing today. Today we're doing something a little different, and I'm actually going to do a YouTube tag. I don't do tags very often, but when I saw this one circulating the internet, I was very interested. The assumptions tag. I think the word assumption has such a big meaning to it, and so that's why I think I got so excited about this, and I thought, what do you assume about me? Scary. So when I'm scared, I go to my Instagram and I ask you the question that I'm scared of. And you provided the assumptions that you have about me, and I'm gonna be reading a bunch of them and letting you know what the truth is. Before we can dig into some assumptions about me, you know what time it is. It's time to give a little bit of Twitter gratitude, and today I'm shining a light on Shanader. Shani, thank you so much for watching these videos. Is it Shani? Is it Shani? We don't know, but I'm giving you a shout out anyway because I love you for watching these videos. I acknowledge you for your time, your attention, and your retweet. That's really cool. Thank you so much. If you potentially like a retweet here on Twitter Gratitude, all you have to do is follow me on Twitter. That's really just makes it a lot easier. I guess you don't have to follow me on Twitter, but when my latest video comes out, you retweet that baby and you could potentially be featured here on Amy TV. And a big shout out to the sponsor of this episode of Amy TV, and that goes to Lively, because I'm trying to knock down all the assumptions, especially the one where you thought I wasn't going to talk about ladies' undergarments on this show. I wear them, so you're going to hear about them. No matter what your style is or what your outfit is, whatever is closest to the skin of your body needs to be comfortable, and it needs to be custom to you. It needs to fit you right. But in addition to comfort, sometimes it has to be about style, because in the summer especially, some of these little garments come peeking out and you want it to look good and not trashy. No trashy, please. That's why I'm really pumped about Lively. Their lingerie is all inspired by activewear, which you know I can get into, and swimwear. And it's a company that is women supporting other women. So this is a former employee of Victoria's Secret that started the company because she wanted to redefine how bras were sold. I want to show you a couple of things that I picked up because summer is hard. Sometimes you're in an outfit that's not necessarily appropriate for your everyday bra, but you need something underneath because you need something underneath. I picked up a little black bralette, which I'm very excited about because if this strap were to be poking out, it's a little bit more sporty looking. It doesn't look like there's just like a bra hanging out, and it has to go with the right outfit to show, but regardless, would have me covered underneath. And then I got something just a little bit more feminine looking. This I would put underneath a dress so that I'm covered, but also if this lace were to peek out, it would look cute. It would look like it's intentional. And that's great for summer because sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, like keep it together, lady. Definitely needed these for vacation, so I'm so pumped. Join this community with me of strong and confident women who are wearing Lively bras because they're comfortable, stylish, and affordable for once. You can get $10 off your first order when you click the link in the description below. Thanks again to Lively for sponsoring this episode of Amy TV. All right, here are some of your assumptions about me. I can't believe I'm doing this. Control freak. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a thing I am. You know, I'm just gonna blame Gretchen Rubin for my self-awareness. I really think it's an upholder tendency, and it's something I'm working on because I've realized that I pay attention to so many details, a lot of the time, details that don't necessarily matter because I'm such a rule follower in the way that I am, that it tends to make me more of a control freak. I'm also a somewhat tidy person, so anyone else's clutter, notice how I said anyone else's because I do have clutter, but anyone else's clutter is annoying, and so I'm always cleaning up after it. Or I find myself so focused on time and how it's being used that I want to either hurry myself or hurry other people along in a situation I don't necessarily have to. I've actually been taking Gretchen Rubin's Happiness Project Challenge, and one of the things I'm working on throughout the year is coming up with my list of 12 personal commandments. I would love to do this at some point when I'm done with it. Like this video if you want to see that. One personal commandment that I came up with that I think was super necessary was take your time. I didn't want to say slow down, and I didn't want to say, something negative. I wanted to say, take your time. Because I think that phrase, when I realize I'm hurrying too much, I'm walking too fast, and I walk with intention. Like, people are always like, where the heck are you going? Take your time is something that I need to do a little bit more in my life. And so that's a really big reminder. But yeah, I'm a control freak. That's a good assumption. This assumption says, you aren't a feminist or advocate for those less able in any capacity. I mean, I don't really know how to read that one, but I definitely am bummed to read it if somebody thinks that. Here's the thing, I actually don't think I'm not a feminist. I just don't know how to define myself as a feminist. I think in everything that I do, I am focused on females and how I can help them. The biggest thing for me is, how do I help people who are maybe in a situation like I was at one point in time? Because that is what is in my heart. So I believe there are a lot of women that align with that. And I believe there are a lot of people who are less able in some way who are a part of that. There were a lot of things I was less able of at one point in time, and I made life changes to do that. I'm not saying that there are people who can just snap their fingers and be more able at something. There are a lot of people who are less able because of things that are out of their control. But I think the important thing is, and what I try to teach in everything that I do, is if there's something happening that is circumstantial for you and there's nothing you can do about it, what can you do instead? The bottom line is, you can only control what you can control. And as we said, I'm a control freak, so I'm always trying to figure out what I can control. But there are a lot of things I can't. And I feel like I'm getting better at letting those things go. I think I just haven't provided an answer or an idea that is right for them. And if that means that they're not right for this community, that's the risk I take. I can't be for everyone, but I would like to think that I help some people in that community. Maybe I need to find out more. Maybe you need to tell me in the comments that it's just like not there. I'm not doing a good enough job there. But I try really hard, and I would be willing to hear that and make adjustments if I need to. You assume that I never feel lost in life. I feel lost every day. I'm like, what is happening around me? Sometimes I'm lost because good things are happening. I feel lost because bad things are happening all the time. The thing is, I don't actually know. If someone were to ask me, what are you going to do in 5 years? What are you going to do in 10 years? I don't know. And I don't care. I don't. Because the more I focus on that and get into my own head about that, the more I'm going to feel lost in life. And I'm thinking too much about some crazy situation that I may not even want 3 years from now. So all I can do to prevent feeling lost is do anything I can that makes me excited to wake up every day. And even if I do some things every day that I don't want to do, how can I balance that out? And the more I do things I want to do, the more I try things, the more I sample other areas of life, the more I build out my character. And I know that sounds like, what are you talking about, Amy? You build out your character. I just try things. And overall, I think I'm helping in that situation of my life. But that's all I can do. It doesn't mean I don't feel lost. It doesn't mean it's the right thing. It doesn't mean I don't waste time. It just means I take it day by day, just like everybody else. And I've just gotten to a point where I don't like letting minutes go by that feel unutilized. Even if it's just to relax with my husband, that's good use of time. But if it's something I wish I was spending more time on one thing and I'm not doing it because I'm doing stuff that doesn't matter to me at all, that's self-awareness you just need to have. So I think I've just practiced that a lot, and that's helped me to be less lost, less often. I'm never slacking. That's not true. I definitely slack. I'm a bit of a sprinter. I'm not a procrastinator necessarily, but I do a lot of things during crunch time. I'm much more productive in that way. So it could be argued that I slack a little bit in the earlier stages of something because I know I don't have to do it yet, and I could. It's not like I'm not slacking in other areas of my life. Sometimes I feel like I'm slacking with my friendships and I need to work on that. I'm slacking with my marriage. How can I fix that? I'm slacking with a certain area of my business. How can I work on that? I'm slacking with making us better food in the house because I keep ordering it on Postmates. What can I do about that? There's always something that you're slacking on. You can't spend 100% of your time on everything. Having a real day off is not a regular thing for you. I mean a real day off. Well, you're right about that. I mean, it's not really a thing. Saturdays tend to be a day that is off for me. Tend to be. It's not automatic. I think I would have more defined days off if I wasn't so excited about what I do every day. Like, my job is to talk to you. I'm not trying to convince you that that's a compliment you should pick up. I'm just saying, like, it's pretty dope, man. Like, I'm into it. So I just get excited about that. I am getting ready to have a lot of days off. When I'm filming this, I'm going to be going on vacation for a whole month and a half. And I welcomed that challenge when it came my way. Like, okay, how am I going to manage that? How am I going to be able to take that time off so that I can still put food on the table on the days that we are not on vacation? It's tough to go that long a period of time out of the office, but both of our families wanted to go on vacation in the same month, Vin and I, and we wanted to accommodate that because you don't get to do that very often. And maybe you've heard I've been through quite the family tragedy in the last year, and so family time has become even more important to us in a really big way. Taking days off is something that I think about a lot more often, but I also think a lot of what I do feels like a day off sometimes. I may be calendar blocked until Kingdom Come, but I really love what I do. That you prefer dramas over comedies like This Is Us instead of Parks and Rec. Is that right? Honestly, I don't know about that. I will say, like, it's really hard, first of all, for me to make time to watch TV, but when I do, it's all about quality of show. I am a huge fan of Veep. Huge. So sad it's over. I'm probably going to go rewatch all of it. I don't watch Game of Thrones with my husband. I'm just not interested. I've heard great things about This Is Us, but I've never seen it, and I've also never seen Parks and Rec, and I know I should see that. I think I actually do lean more toward silly, like, reality shows and comedy. But I'm also a huge House of Cards fan. So it just has to do with the show, if I can get into the storyline. It really does. If I can get into the storyline, maybe it's politics. I think politics is resonating. And The Crown. Okay, so The Crown, House of Cards, and Veep. What does that say about me? I think it says a lot. You were raised by a strong woman because you are strong. That's a really good assessment. My mother is a very strong woman. She is one of 7 kids. She was in the military. She was in the Air Force. And she raised me and my sister for a good portion of our childhood before she got remarried. And she was a school teacher at the same time. Kids on kids on kids all the time. I learned a lot of my regimentedness from her, I guess we'll call that. And yes, I think I'm very strong because I am literally my mother. And I think that's the coolest thing ever. Don't think I would have said that like 15 years ago, but I am very proud of it now. I don't really want to have kids because I love Lucy too much. No. I love Lucy a lot. I don't really want to have kids right this second. My husband and I talk about it all the time, and we actually are talking about it a lot. We talk about it a lot. We want it to be the right decision for us. I'm not timing it. It's not this whole, like, this is my plan thing. It'll happen when it happens. But we want it to be the right decision. And we feel good about it at this point. I just really don't want to be a mom for, like, a period of time. I've had Lucy since I was 18. So, I'm old. I don't really, I just want like a break from I just want to be able to travel nonstop and not be freaked out about not having a sitter for this amount of time in my life. And then we'll see what happens. That I'm a perfectionist, at least to some degree. Absolutely. There's no explaining that. I am a perfectionist. I think I've finally gotten to a place where I don't like watching my own videos back because I think that my latest work is my best work and everything before it is a little bit embarrassing because it's not perfect, because you just gotta get the stuff out. I have to be on time. I have to be consistent for you. So that's the perfectionism that means the most to me, and then the content kind of has to suffer sometimes because of that, because it's just good enough. And so there's a lot of different areas of my life outside of work that I have to look at things that way, you know? I can't always be perfect at this because I'm doing a lot of other things. I can't be a perfect dog mom sometimes because I'm filming videos. For instance, right now Lucy's on the balcony probably wondering where I am, and it's like, sorry, I just needed some quiet time. I'm a perfectionist, for sure, in a lot of ways. It's something I'm working on. You're living your best life and loving what you do. I feel I'm living my best life every day. I know it's going to get better every single day. My best life took a huge hit this year that I am reminded of every day. It's still not my best life it'll ever be ever again, but I think my only choice is to keep doing the best that I can for it to be the best that I have been dealt. And so I think I'm doing okay with that. I feel really good about it. Picked out a good man, love my dog, like my house. You guys are cool. I mean, what else do you need? You don't have mental illness, bipolar, BPD, depression, etc. You know, I actually think it's arguable if I don't have a mental illness. That sounds really weird to say out loud. Because, it's not a joking matter, because I think that mental illness can take place in a lot of different ways. I think we're realizing that more and more as we get into this era of time. That being said, I absolutely cannot say I know what real depression is. I think I have ever had one anxiety attack in my entire life, and it was the night of my rehearsal dinner. I don't know what that's like. And I don't know why I don't know what that's like. I think I dealt with a lot of crap when I was in school, but I don't think it ever got to a point where it debilitated me. And so I don't feel that's fair. Sometimes I guilt trip myself that like I can't speak for that perspective because I know so many people deal with that. But I don't know, it could happen. And so I'm just feeling very grateful that if I'm so lucky that I don't have what a doctor would call a mental illness, then I'm spending my time with that. I don't know what to call it. With that mental state. I'm spending my time with that mental state helping other people, no matter what their mental state is. So, yes, I think you're right. I definitely don't have anything that somebody would diagnose. I don't think. Maybe I should go find out. I don't know. But I don't want to joke about it either because it's just like literally, it just is what it is. And I really feel for people who can't figure out how to overcome it, or not even overcome it, just like get through the day to day with the balance of it. I think Leah Pipes on the first episode of Detail Therapy really helped me to understand that because we talked about what that looked like for her. But yeah, I guess your assumption's right about that. And it's something I feel pretty lucky about because I think there's so much that can affect your mental state and you just never know. I definitely thought that something deeper would happen when my brother passed away, but it actually helped me have more clarity that I'm here for a reason. I assume that you are short. I would say you are correct. Isn't it funny? People on the internet, you always think they're like tall for some reason. I ain't tall. I'm 5'4". So do with that what you will. That I don't care about the environment. This is a fun one. I get a lot of crap about plastic. I'm not even 100% sure why? And that's probably the problem. My mom even bought me metal straws because she was like, you need to use these, okay? I have not used a plastic straw since I saw the negative comments. As a matter of fact, here's my paper straw here, but here's a can. So I don't know. I think people are just mad at me all the time for whatever I am using, drinking out of, playing with. I try to be as environmentally conscious as possible. I get so upset when I see people abusing our earth. I see littering all the time. I see so much that is just disappointing. But I do the best that I can with what I have. I am an avid recycler. You can ask Vin. I'm just doing the best I can with what I know. But I still like to enjoy things. So I would like to think I'm somewhat environmentally aware, but maybe I still have some research to do. I would love your thoughts on that because clearly it is something I am not good at. You're a super nice person, but you take no BS. I think this is correct. I mean, like, maybe I'm not a super nice person. I'm pretty nice. I think I'm pretty nice. I really like to be nice. I don't like confrontation. However, I have gotten to a point in my life where if somebody says something stupid, I usually will call it out. I think that's just because I'm getting older and I don't care anymore. So, you were the quiet kid in school with a strong imagination. I was the quiet kid in school, but I don't know how strong my imagination was. I don't know. It doesn't really resonate with me. I guess, to be fair, my imagination, actually, this is crazy. My imagination had a lot to do with videos. I don't think I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be a YouTuber someday, because it didn't even exist yet. But I was thinking about things creatively in the sense that I loved music, and I always thought about things in motion attuned to music or aligned with music or going to the beats of music. And I think that's because I was just in music a lot in school. So the things I was imagining were always some sort of production, but usually had to do with music. So that's why I've done a couple of music things on this channel, not very many, because that's what I was thinking about. But definitely daydreaming. I don't know if I had a strong imagination, but I was daydreaming a lot. This assumption says you have great quality friendships, which I think is super admirable. I also admire it. It took me a long time to find strong friendships. I didn't have a very easy time with this in school. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about doing a video on this because I think it has a lot to do with my trust issues and not having expectations of people. But the friendships that I do have are because I keep them very limited. I don't really think that everyone in the world is my friend. I'm not trying to achieve everybody as my friend. I want to be good to all people that I meet because I think all people are worth that. But I don't like to have a lot of friends. I like to have just a few so that I can do the best that I can to be worth their time and be a good friend, and they can do the same. The assumption that I wake up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday, you would be correct mostly. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I've been waking up at 4 so I can get to 5:30 spin class. But other than that, you're right. And I talk about waking up early all the time, so this is no surprise. You've never gone blonde before. That is true. I have never been a blonde ever. And I'm not even sure why. Honestly, I think I'm more scared of it. That's probably one of my few fears, changing my hair color. I don't know how it would look, honestly. I think we just gotta stick with what's working. You are very hard on yourself. I am pretty hard on myself. I think that goes into the perfectionism thing. I am my own worst critic. I try to beat everyone else to the punch. I'm pretty good at it. I feel it's in a space where it is not dangerous, and I use it for fuel so that I can try to do the best that I can every single day. And then when I'm not at my very, very best, I just work really hard to forgive myself for it. I'm a picky eater. I'm actually not a picky eater. I don't like mushrooms, only in my mushroom coffee. I don't like mushrooms overall. I mean, like, I'll eat them if it's just like in it, you know, whatever it is, but not on pizza. I'll pick it off pizza. You are bougie. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I think part of the reason why I like working so hard is I like the freedom in my life. And I particularly like the freedom of, if I want something, I'm going to go get it. So sometimes that means it's something at a store, like a handbag, or sometimes it means it's a goal. I like to have both. So yeah, I think I'm like a little bit bougie. But I don't even really technically know what that word means. I just use it because everybody does. So let me know. You have very little patience for excuses. This is accurate. I hate excuses. I hate when I hear myself saying them. I hate when I excuse myself to myself. I hate when other people are making excuses to me. I hate when people are making excuses in general because they think it's what everybody needs to hear in that moment. I'm just not a fan of excuses. It's just almost, it's like right up there with complaints. Like, can we not? You have no insecurities. That is wildly inaccurate. Wildly inaccurate. But if I were to tell you what my insecurities are, that would just be a terrible idea. I mean, that really sucked for me. You have to understand. Those are some assumptions that you had about me. A lot of them have to do with stuff that I talk about around here. But some of them were a little bit adventurous, so thank you to those of you who were brave to ask me some really crazy questions. If you want to continue to hang out with me a little bit more intimately, ask me some crazy questions, I highly suggest you join Shine Squad because that is what we are doing over there. I talk to those guys every single day. We're not only going after the life we want, but we are improving our mornings, being more productive, and doing everything that we can in order to live our very best life, even if it means we're a little bit bougie sometimes. More details about that in the description below. Let's share what we learned about me today in a tweetable. Your assumptions are your windows on the world. Scrub them off every once in a while, or the light won't come in. Isaac Asimov. Now I want to hear from you. Was there anything you were surprised by in this video or an assumption I didn't address? Leave that in the comments below. And another big shout out to Lively for sponsoring this episode of Amy TV. If you want to get your $10 off your first order, check out the description for a link to snag that deal. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. Watch for the part where the salmon that I put in the oven is gonna be ready in like 10 minutes and the alarm's gonna go off and it's gonna be during a great sentence. Absolutely guaranteed. Am I shrinking? I have insecurities. This is one of them. My chair, because it doesn't stop squeaking.